Hey, this is Jim with Dieselgeek, and we're going to show you today how to remove the V157 motor from your common rail intake manifold to install our P2015 repair bracket. This is the new style bracket, and so you're going to unplug the motor. We've already done that. We've tied back the harness with the zip tie right here to give us a little bit more room. So we're just going to get in here with our T30. Just remove the 3 screws holding the motor on. So I like to put the screws up here on the air box. Alright, so the motor's loose. So behind the motor is a spring. And so you just want to make sure the spring doesn't go off flying. So I just hook it with the forcep and then unhook it from the other motor rod. And then just twist the motor sideways to get it unhooked. From this linkage rod right here, you just kind of, and then you got it. So this is the motor, this is the spring, and so on the spring, what you can do is you can just bend it a little tighter, bend the hook a little bit tighter, and then hook it back on there to where it won't come off. So our bracket bolts on to this nub right here and just slips on. Push it down all the way and it's flush with the motor arm. So you just push it on, it can't go too far, you just push it on all the way. And then you line up the top plate with the hole, and then you slip in the long 6mm screw, one of the motor screws. And there, it's pretty close to where it needs to go. I'm just gonna snug this screw up just a little bit more. And these square corners are gonna pretty close to match up. You can fine tune it when you get it in the, get it mounted back to the manifold. But this is how it goes. And so the bracket provides a stop right here. There's a little rest right there, so the arm doesn't go back too far, and that's what the bracket does. So we're going to go ahead and install it. So put the top screws in. Just under here. Let's take the screws out and leave the screws. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to hook the spring onto the other lever, the butterfly lever. There. And then we're going to move the linkage rod up into place to mate up with the ball and the motor arm. And So push it on and make sure one more time that the spring is in place, looking back. Okay, now look back there and you can get the screw lined up on the back with the upper hole. And just loosely run the driver just to see if you have it threaded right. Once you have one of them threaded right, you just run them in. Don't tighten them until you have them all three threaded in. Tighten that one, and then tighten the bottom one, and then tighten the bracket screw, and you should be flush with the side of the motor. So the bracket should be flush with the end of the motor arm. And then also these corners here on the bracket should be squared up. And once you're there, then you're done. You can undo the zip tie and then plug the motor back in, and you're done.